Do I look like General Kalani to you? Huh? I'm not General Kalani. Clearly, I'm STAP. Alright, so, turns out General Kalani is not coming to the game, at least not yet, but it was a separatist droid, so we're at least 50% right. That's the number I'm sticking to, so everybody owes me a cookie. Great, let's talk about the STAP, shall we? Alrighty, so Meathead took to the forums and released the kit that was promised. The one that is coming is the Single Trooper Aerial Platform, a brand new separatist droid coming to a holotable near you. The STAP, as we're going to call it, STAP, is a very interesting unit, and I swear, this is just a face, guys. It's a face. There's eyes, there's nose, and there's a mouth, and he's utterly surprised to find himself in the situation that he's in. Alright, okay, let's take a look at it. Key attributes: a GAC Omni to lift General Grievous. This is awesome. I'm hugely in favor of a GAC Omni lifting General Grievous. He has fallen off a cliff in viability in recent years, simply because he just can't keep up with modern metas. Now, the Droideka Omni does a little bit for him in TW environments, but does nothing for that GAC environment, so now we're getting a lift unit. I love to see it. Let's take a look at the abilities then. So, a basic checkpoint secure. I absolutely love this little flying platform thing. It's just so cool. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and inflict target lock for 2 turns. If they already have target locked, inflict pinned for 2 turns, which is a brand new debuff which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and this attack cannot be evaded. So the basic can't be evaded, it puts target lock, and if the enemy already has target lock, which in a General Grievous team is pretty likely they do, then it's going to inflict pinned. Now, what does pinned do? So pinned means you cannot gain bonus turn meter, you have 25% less speed, it does not stack with breach, fracture, or speed down. So, you can't slow them any further than that 25% speed down. It's pretty good, but it has other benefits as well. Let's keep reading. Special 1, Die Jedi Dogs. Cooldown of 2. It's an AoE, deal physical damage to all enemies which cannot be evaded by Jedi. I mean, it's a little bit very specific there to help deal with things like, Yoda spreading all that foresight all the time. Qui-Gon Jinn, for example, that sort of thing. You inflict provoked on all enemies for 2 turns and deal damage again to pinned enemies. So if there's a pinned enemy and, AoEs, lots of target locks, you're probably going to have pinned enemies across the board, and it means that they take double damage. Why provoked, you might ask? Well, it's actually interesting. I have a feeling this is to help counter very specific teams. So it gives you a 100% counter chance, but the counter chance damage that you deal is 90% less, and when you attack out a turn, you take damage equal to 20% of your max health. This damage cannot defeat the character. So I feel like this provoked is more there to make sure that if enemies are counterattacking, you're not taking a whole lot of damage, and they are slowly going to chip away at their own health. It should theoretically help potentially with characters like Wampa. Wampa trying to solo GG teams, although you do need to land this provoked in the first instance, and with Wampa stacking tenacity, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go about. Special number 2 then is We Need a Recharge. Cooldown of 4. Recover 20% health and protection and gain 5 stacks of Overcharge. Now, Overcharge is the same ability that Droideka has that ramps his offense when he's in, well, it's just when he doesn't take a turn, right? I believe it gives you 5% additional max offense, up to a maximum of 5, 25%, which can't be copied or prevented. It can be dispelled. Target ally attacks, then STAP assists. So it's a call to assist where you recover health and protection, you gain 5 stacks of Overcharge, and you attack yourself. So that's going to put out target locks, it's going to put out pinned, it's going to call in assists, which is going to spread more target locks. Characters like B2, they're basic, can apply target locks. So it's all very good business so far. Unique 1 then. Single Trooper Aerial Platform. Is this one of the very few characters in the game that has his name as one of the moves? Potentially, let me know in the comments section down below. STAP gains 10 speed for each stack of Overcharge, so maximum of 5 stacks can gain up to 50 speed. Not bad. At the start of battle, if all allies are separatist droids, whenever an ally inflicts pinned or target lock on an enemy, they also inflict damage equal to 10% of their max health damage to that enemy, which can't be evaded. So characters like General Grievous that have masses of max health are now going to be dealing 10% of their max health damage to pinned or target locked enemies if you are in a full separatist droid team, which you're probably going to be. That's going to turn into quite a significant amount of damage, but wait, there's more. Whenever STAP uses an ability other than we need to recharge, they lose a stack of overcharge. Whenever STAP or an allied separatist droid tank takes true damage from an enemy, all separatist droid allies lose 15% turn meter, limited once per enemy per turn. This is a very interesting one. I'm wondering if this was something to make sure that Bad Batch can still beat General Grievous teams. Maybe in Territory War? There's not that many teams that deal a lot of true damage that you're trying to think they're deliberately trying to bring in some anti-synergy. Then they remove it with the Omicron for this same ability coming later. Let's read. While in Grand Arena and all allies are separatist droid allies, STAP takes a bonus turn at the start of battle and an additional bonus turn whenever an enemy takes their first turn. That's really huge. He's starting with a bonus turn. There are very few characters that start with a bonus turn. Bonus turns cannot be prevented. So, things like JMK doesn't stop it from happening, for example. Not that I'm recommending taking GG against JMK. I don't think that's really going to work. But just using it for example. So bonus turn at the start, and then every time an enemy takes a turn, STAP's going to take a bonus turn as well, which is really kind of huge because you're going to be spreading target locked and pinned so much with that happening all the time. You're going to be able to recover all your stacks of overcharge all the time. You're going to be calling to assist. You're going to be generating TM for your team. It's pretty good. Enemy clone troopers have got minus 30% offense when they're inflicted with pinned or target lock, and they receive additional damage equal to 10% of their max health, which can't be evaded. Yeah, so clones are not going to have a fun time against General Grievous teams with STAP, particularly with this Omicron. They're going to take additional 10% max health damage when they get target locked or when they get pinned, which is going to be all the bleeding time. Separatist droid allies no longer lose turn meter when the STAP or an allied Separatist droid tank take true damage from enemies. Super interesting kit, guys. I think this is going to be massively beneficial for General Grievous teams. It does beg the question of, who's going to drop out of the General Grievous team. Typically speaking, we're going to have GG, right? Obviously, we're going to have GG. We're going to have the STAP. Those two are sort of guaranteed. You've got characters like IG 100 for the tank. You've got B2 for reactive tanks, AoE damage, that sort of thing. And you've got B1 also coming in there, spreading additional target lock, doing additional AoE damage, assisting, healing, keeping people alive. Honestly, I imagine outside of a TW perspective, you probably drop Droidica out the team. I think within Territory Wars, you could probably reintroduce STAP. Maybe you lose B1. Maybe. Just because of the additional true damage that you're dealing is going to be 10% of your own max health, and B1 has only got one stack of health. So he's not going to deal any damage when it comes to that true damage, but I'm not entirely sold on it. I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to pan out. And I'm wondering, what else is it going to counter with this unit in here? And what does this mean for the future of the Separatist droid faction and the rest of the year? Does this mean it's probably going to be involved in the next GL or the next raid? Highly likely. Whenever the new raid comes in, and it could be something to do with the Battle of Naboo or the Assault on Theed pushing into a Duel of the Fates against Maul, please let us do that. That would be amazing. I'd love to have a fight off against Maul in the next raid. I want us to step away from things like the Endor raid where we've got nameless units on the field that there's no stakes there, right? If we had an Assault on Theed running through the city of Theed, defeating the Separatists, the Trade Federation, rather, within Theed, and then pushing through and facing off against Darth Maul in maybe a duo battle, that would be really cool. Does this mean that we are going to get something that this thing is going to pilot for the Trade Federation, new Separatist capital fleet? Potentially. We just don't know. I think if we start seeing some additional marquees that are in that same vein, then we could probably make a little bit more of an informed decision. I'm really excited though. What do you think it's going to be? What do you guys think is coming to the game as a result of the STAP? Are you happy about this particular unit? Let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.